Hi everyone, so my name is Komang Kinasti Ambaratri with my student number 117, and this time I'm going to answer some questions regarding weathers. So we're going to divide this into 3 parts, and each part has its own questions. So let's start with the first part. And the first question of the first part is, what is the weather usually like in your hometown? So I live in a small mountain village called Munduk, and Munduk village has the average temperature of 20 to 29-ish degrees Celsius, and it is very unlikely for the weather to go any higher than that. And the weather is always so nice. Even if the sun is very bright outside, it doesn't get hot. So the weather in my hometown never bothered me because it's always so nice. And by this time of the year, I believe that it's raining most of the time. It's always raining or at least cloudy, which I love very much. Next question, what's your favorite weather? As I already hinted from my previous answer, I love when it rains. I love rainy weather. Is that a term? And it's actually raining by the time I'm recording this video. Next question. Do you like the weather in your hometown? Absolutely. I love everything about my hometown, especially the nature and the weather, because it's always cold and nice and comfortable and rainy. So yeah, the weather is always so nice. Next question. Do you like wet weather? Yes, I do like wet weather. Next question, do you prefer wet or dry weather? The answer is kind of obvious. I very much prefer wet weather instead of... Oh! Sorry, did I say wet weather? I very much prefer... Yes, I did say wet weather. I very much prefer wet weather over dry weather. Sorry, my ADHD. Do you like hot and dry weather? No, I do not. I hate it when it's hot and dry. It's so uncomfortable for me and it feels so stuffy for some reason. And the last question for the first part is, what do you do in hot weather? Although I said I live in a small village, most of the time I'm here in the city, and the weather most of the time it's hot, so I just do my daily activities as usual. But if it gets very hot, I just shut myself inside of my room with the fan or the air conditioner blasting, and then read books and laze around. Okay, that's the first part. For the second part, we got describe your favorite season. So I haven't experienced all types of seasons that exist in this world. So for now, my favorite season would be rainy season. I just love everything about rain. The sound of it, the smell of it, and the shapes of it. I mean, what's there not to love about the rain? Plus points if the clouds gets very dark and there's thunderstorms. Perfection. Immaculate. I feel like the rain cleans everything that it comes in contact with, metaphorically. So after the rain falls, I feel everything around me, including me, is clean. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, I get a good amount of comfort and positivity from the rain. So that's part 2. And then let's move on to the last part. And the first question is, do you think that the weather affects people's mood? I think so. Depending on each person, because personal preference has much to do with how the weather affects individuals, and even though sunshine is often associated with happiness and positivity, while rain with sadness and depression, I believe that that's not always the case, because as I always said from earlier, I personally feel very positive and calm when it rains. Next question, does air pollution affect the weather? I think so. Air pollution can have a significant impact on weather and air quality, I think. Next question, do you think that weather affects people's behavior? I believe that weather can significantly affect people's behavior. I mean, when people finds the weather to be good, it can encourage them and energize them and make people have a positive mood overall. And while on the other hand, when people find the weather to be bad, and it can lead to isolation, irritability, and even aggression. So if a person finds the weather to be bad, I think it can lead to them being or having a negative emotions. Next question, do you think this is actually the last question. What are some other examples of bad weather in the world? So my definition of bad weather would be a very, very hot weather with no breeze at all. So the 2022 European heat waves and the extreme heat in North America, Europe, and China in July 2023 are notable examples of severe hot weather. The weather that I very much hate. So yeah, I think that's all. That's all. Thank you for tuning in. That's all for the question and for the Q&A about weathers. I'll see you in the next opportunities. Thank you.